Professor Dharurkar, chairman of this plenary session, gave a very good start and set the context. In fact, plenary is what should be discussed among very few people. That is a plenary. So it's fine that this auditorium is now appropriate for a plenary, with we very few people sitting together, because in plenary we'll speak our mind on the basis of our experience. So Professor Upendra Padhiji always gives very tough topics for plenary, as if we are getting tested in close communities. So I am now getting tested. Just see you all, if this test I can at least have 30% marks for passing. See, today's topic is enhancing social and gender inclusivity in digital ecosystem. So, we have as one phenomenon how to enhance gender and social inclusivity. This is one phenomenon. And this phenomenon, it is clearly stated in the statement of this plenary that in digital ecosystem, how does it work? It is basically a topic which should be taken in quasi-experimental mode, with so many quasi-experiments looking into this aspect. Whatever little I understand about it from my very less studies, because study is too much in this field. There are a huge number of studies in India also, outside also. So I have been deluged, not precisely in this topic, but on the periphery of it and at the spirit of it. I have got few points which are very important. When we talk about enhancing social and gender inclusivity, the first part, we have a picture in our mind. Whether it's correct or not, that future will decide. Why I am telling future will decide? There is a point in it. Gender also. Gender inclusivity. But the second part is very, very interesting. As if we have taken, digital ecosystem has already arrived and it will remain as it is. So now it's the time when we can talk about it and make policies. See, today's world, the most fluid is policy. Because we are gradually entering into a hugely complex system. We have shifted, see, the 19th century railroad and communication, that has completely changed occupational pattern and shifted people from one place to another. So it raised question on social equations, social relationships. Then come 1990, just pinpoint into Indian picture. We have found that those states who were early on the bus of digital revolution, .com, they had done much better. We in Bengal, we had done very badly, because we resisted everything. But Bengal was not that resistant. It has been touted that India had no education before the Britishers have for the women and other groups. See, I read Bengal's women's educational history. I found, at least from Chaitanya Dev's time, women were having regular education. The last reading of it we get in Tagore family's women's educational history. And these were the Vaishnav Sannyasis or Vaishnavis. They were the tutors. They were teaching mathematics, Subhankari, and they were teaching many more things. And only the Srimad Bhagavad Gita, etc., were the last part of their educational curriculum for women. For women. And if we look into India, for liberation of women, see, this is the India in which women never used husband's surname. It's an European, rather Victorian outgrowth in which we put ourselves. Just check. All over India. So those places like Bihar, etc., which were less exposed to it, the hinterland, there still women are called as Devis. In Bengal, Ishwar Chandra Vidyasagar's mother was never a Chattopadhyay. She was always Bhagavati Devi. But we don't pick up these markers. Now, why I'm talking about these markers? Certainly, the digital space has to circulate these facts about the country. Because every country's digital space, though it is integrated with digital space of the entire world, but at the same time, in that space, every country makes its own contribution. Can we do this? Because ultimately we talk about digital ecosystem, but the digital ecosystem is basically a tool we have to use. There are two sides of it. One is how we can improve this ecosystem through its instrument improvement, through its software improvement, and blah, blah, blah. This is one side. The second side is how adept we are in utilizing it for our own causes. One of these causes is to feel proud in the tradition of our women, to understand more, not in Western terms, but in our own terms, that our women contributed so much to our industry building, even during 1st century AD to 18th century AD, when there were no huge production, only caste-based production system was there, and you were one of the highest GDP producing countries in the world. How it happened? At best, we had some batch mode factories in our towns. Some batch mode factories, which later were touted as that Italy has made batch mode production, etc. We find. See, we had some. Especially in case of precious metals, etc. We had a mix of both. But nobody knows it. Now the danger of digital space is, even today, even 10 years back, that so much of information, when you are deluged with so much of information, you are not able to know what is the actual information. What is the actual information? If we have to search for any health information, what is the most reliable website? What are the? Is this PubMed? Or anything else? And there are many proxy websites for them. How you do it? Because digital space marketing is awfully aligned to copying, to fishing on others' brand image. It's very important to understand this. Now, I'll go 10 years afterwards. See, get ready. Just tighten your belt, men and women, because both of us today has the same type of dress, mostly. Why? And especially those who are in communication and media. Within next 5 years, all your first level skill-based jobs are going to be out of market. Till now, we have seen gradually the development before COVID. We have seen only partial AI coming, and we were amazed at it. Even during that partial amazement with artificial intelligence driven programs, we had our anxiousness. Now what happens? You have seen, and women are at the receiving end, that artificially created picture, visual of a celebrity, how it's tried to damage. And it's not happening only once. For several years, and women are at the receiving end. Do we have to again bring back women to the home, within surroundings of the home, without a mobile phone, like we did in 11th century? Or they will face all those social castigations? Social castigations? See, now the social setting is so uncertain. If a boy mixes with 7 girls, there is no problem. But if a boy had mixed with 7 boys, a girl has mixed with, and all these 7 boys had taken photographs at different moments, and if they morph it, if they put it into artificial intelligence driven visuals, what happens? Already that sort of an industry of extortion is on the rise. So, would we have to again give our women training, or women will give women training, that please keep yourself, don't mix with anyone? In this India, women had the right to choose their own husbands. And do you think choosing husband was done only by mixing with one man from honorable distance? No, it's not. Go to different states of India. Women, after a match is made by families even, women go to the house and they stay there for several days. If it matches, they will be married. If it is not, they will not be married. These are very old traditions. So now we have to stop everything. So when I talk about that gender inclusivity, there is third angle also in the gender inclusivity. That angle is of third gender or transgender. That is also there. How do you conceive it in a digital ecosystem? Sort of their representation and existence, and how it can be respected. It is not only possible to take copies from others and just put it there. No, it's not possible. Because the threat is also from the ecosystem that will emerge after 5 years or 10 years. This threat will increase more and more. And the different reports, future predictability reports in industry says that the type of professions, skill-based professions we have now, most of it will be obsolete by next 10 years. So we have to tighten our belts. How we can accommodate us, how we can make ourselves trained for third round of reskilling, reorientation and reskilling. And by the time, because you will live much more than we all, the young people, by the time you will be adjusted to it, you will find that fifth revolution has come. So now, what is the fate of policies? See, the Britishers made the different policies that stayed for at least 100 years. Then we made policies after 1947. Those stayed at least for 50 years, 60 years, 70 years. And now the policies will change through corrections, through additions, to such a big amount within 4 to 5 years. Just look into our television, etc., broadcasting rules, everything. How most of the things have been redundant and new things have been taken within it, and it's in subsidiaries like the cable television network, etc., and then OTT platform, etc. Look into this question. Why it's happening? OTT platform would have not been possible if there was not partial AI drive. I still remember in 2002, when Foley-Norriman Committee gave a report, and on the basis of that, the Communication Convergence Bill was presented. So I wrote in Times of India and in Assam Tribune 2 articles. I wrote, it is premature to have a convergence bill and leave print from that convergence area. For convergence bill, we require a convergent media definition. And what would be its approach? What would be its markers? So that communication convergence bill was not tabled. There were many other protests also from others. It was not tabled. And you have seen, instead of that, there were telecommunication bills separately, broadcasting bills separately, all these things were being done. The point is, we have to understand when we talk about policy options and programs may be of short duration, but policy options, even today, policies are taking shape as if these are programs, because they are also short-stayed. The difference between the two is getting decreased. I won't take much longer. Thank you. Just only 3 points I tried to deliberate upon. Thank you.